Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to explore about cloud services management 5 experiments. Each of these experiments gonna take some amount of time, but I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it. Let's explore them. So for this, most of you might not have hands-on experience just yet. I'm speaking in English because not most of them know my native language here. So yeah. This won't be showing if you're first time signing up for this. You gotta go to create a free account so that you will finish the first experiment. And no. This is what it, and it's gonna be compiler. It's just a junk account, so I don't care much. So this is our code. Verify. Yeah. Let's put a password that our Google wants to. Let's use this. Step 1 of 5. Okay, we have 20 seconds. No problem. It's personal. Well, of course that's me. 91. So yeah, we have entered India and we are gonna enter what's our address is. It's fake anyway, so don't try to enter fake address here. CYU. Well, can we put some other New York? You know what? Fine. Let's put Chennai. Let's see with the issue here. Yeah, let's put this. Why not? Yes. Yes. Well, let's read what the hell is this. Is it updated? Let's check. Yeah, I don't see it is updated. Let's see about it. Okay. Yeah, it's recent. Let's see what's changed. Oh, that's about South Africa. Well guys, if you are logging, if you're going to use it for your business, kindly read the agreement. Most of the users skip this step. Kindly read the agreement. Since I'm creating a fake account, I won't be reading this. Yeah, and I have entered all the details. I can't be showing my CV and all. They are actually real. And yes, since I'm having a PAN card, so I can't be showing. It will be like 5 letters, one at the end, 1 letter, and 4 numbers, totally 10 characters. I won't be showing what it is. A very minimum amount. You guys want to see? Yes, it's for personal use and it's individual, since I'm going to be the one using this to teach you what it is. And yes, we have our PAN card. And no, I won't be showing any of these details. I'm just gonna show you what it is. You just have to enter your date of birth, PAN number, and this is my name. Yes, and yes, this is what you have to insert. That's all. I'm not going to be showing you everything. Well, don't get me wrong, I must maintain some privacy, And yes, after you finish all these steps, let's go to step 4. And yeah, it's gonna be calling us. Our number is 91. This. Let's send an SMS. Okay, it's testing us. FCEZ TPT. Yeah, let's submit it. Okay, I missed everything. After you enter the 4 digit like this, we are moving to another step, and that's nothing but to select the support plan. I'm going choosing a basic support because for doing the 5 experiments this itself is enough, and then we are going to completing the sign up. We will be moving on to the home page if I'm not wrong. Yes, then we have to go on to sign into the console, and that's it. Experiment number 1 is completed. It's about creating an account here. Now let's explore how we are going to create experiment number 2, which is nothing but we are going to create a cost model function where we are going to be importing a Lambda application which consists of 6 functions, which is nothing but the state machine, and then we are going to run our function which is going to be called as Lambda function, which is going to be act as a process. From state machine we are going to be feeding a JSON which is input, and we are going to be getting the output in the form of graphs, which is nothing but in what cost we are going to be getting it cheap, which memory configuration we're going to be getting it cheap. We are going to test all of that. Let's explore. Let's go to Lambda here. Yes. Then we're going to be moving to not here, since we are starting out now. Let's go. We are going to be creating as cost model function. Then the runtime is going to be Python. Yes, we're going to be doing all of this in Python, and that's all. You don't want to change anything. Let's create a function. You're going to be creating author from scratch here. Don't forget this. Then we will be moving on to see the function. So this is our code source. Yeah, we will be having a default function like this one, but I don't tell you to implement it right away. Let's see. I'm not going to be coding everything and wasting my time because I don't have that much subscription here, but once I get some money I'll be showing a full-fledged video about this. So this is the code you have been seeing here. As you can see, we are going to be importing a JSON where we will be having a body. Yes, and then in that body we will be having a content. We are going to be loading that content into this Python variable content, and then in action variable we are going to be loading in body, in action, what content we are having. It will be greet mostly. If the action is greet, it's going to be returning the success code 200, and then the body, and then the server response will be hello from Lambda. And then if it is not greet, if it's something else, then we will be returning an error code which is 400, and then we are going to be returning a server message which is invalid action. That's all. There is nothing complicated here. Now we won't be stopping it here. We will be moving on to, oh shoot, I guess I have to delete this. Okay, it took a lot of time to do this, so yeah, this is a JSON. We're going to be importing this because we are going to be handling the data in a JSON, and then we are going to be importing the event. In this we are going to be importing a body content. In the body content we are going to be loading in this content variable, and then in action we are going to be loading in body, in action, what content we are having. It's mostly greet according to the code given in a documentation. If it's return, if it's going to be greet, then you're going to be returning a success code, and then we are going to be returning a hello from Lambda, which is a server message. Otherwise we are going to be returning an error message, and the server message is invalid action. That's all. Now let's move on to step functions. Let me do some things. Now that's all. Now let's move on to this one, which is nothing but step functions. Not yet. Let's move on to applications. Let me show you how I got them. Now what we are going to be particularly importing them is, it's a power tuning, AWS power tuning. Let me search for them. Okay, so we don't have any applications. I think we have to search broader of this. Okay, let's go to this. Yeah, this is what we're talking. Serverless application repository. No, not exactly. No, yeah. AWS is not serverless, it's just one word. AWS Lambda Power Tuning, that's all. And then we are going to be showing this application. Let's search. Why it takes so many time? It should be getting what we want, right? Yeah, there's one thing we have to do. Let's do this. Yeah, this is very important. It should be creating custom IAM roles. What I mean here is identity access and management, which is nothing but we have to use a Microsoft Authenticator 2 times of code so that you can actually access this. This is the application we are talking about. And yes, let's go to get what we want. It's on recording, so no props. And yes, this is how the default value is going to be looking like. You don't need to change anything, just import them, that's all. Yeah, you have to acknowledge them. We always have to acknowledge. Kindly read the agreement. Don't just blindly accept the terms. Okay. Since I'm doing this on a fake account, which Amazon's going to take notice, I'm just going to teach you guys, that's all. I won't be have to holding account for too long, which is going to cost me a lot of money. Since I already have 2 accounts, one account is closed and one account is already there. I don't want to be having so many accounts for this one thing which I have done for like 3 times. So don't take too much about it. Well, I'll pass this. It's going to take a lot of time, like 5 minutes. Let's wait. It will be showing a window like this. Okay, don't worry, but still the work isn't done. Let's see if it displays on sidebars yet. Yes, it's displaying everything. Sometimes it may take 5 minutes, sometimes it may take like 1 minute. So yeah, it's rare. Looks like our server is free. Okay, so that's all. As we imported all of this, we are going to be creating a graph, which will be done only by using the step functions. In those step functions, we are going to be accessing a state machine. This is what you're going to be going, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the free trial is about to end. Let me get you another one. See here, we will be having this one. As you can see, power tuning state machine. Just go into this. Yeah, we will be having this, right? But let me tell you another thing you have to be doing here. Let's go to Lambda one. We are going to be using an Amazon resource name above that Lambda function. So what I mean here is you're going to go to this cost model and you're going to be copying this. This is very secret. You can't be like using it everywhere, since everyone can access this from any account. That's very dangerous. That's what we're talking. And yes, this is what we were speaking, but I'm not going to waste my time coding because it'll be taking a lot of time. Let me pass. While entering like this is how you have to enter. Now let's enter each and every code so that it will be good for you to learn them right away. So this is the power values. Make sure it's all 7 values there. And then we will be moving on to another code, but that's going to take you a lot of time. If you really want to stay there, okay. But for me, it's going to take since I have a limited amount of subscription here, So we have written a code. I know I have to show you everything what I have done, but you know, it's going to be taking a lot of time. So this is our ARN. It's going to be looking like this. ARN AWS. In that we have Lambda function in a EU North 1, which is the closest to India, which is a server, and then this is a number consists of 11 digits if I'm not wrong. Then no, it's 12 digits, and then in that function we are going to be importing a cost model, and in power values we have till this much. Well, disclaimer, when you look at the default value of what we did, actually we have to make sure that those values is a max. It's a max value, okay, and these values we have entered here, they are actually minimum to that value. Like, you should not be crossing the values to that max value, otherwise we are going to be getting an error, like the power configuration errors like that, you know what I mean. And then in numbers it's going to be 10. What I mean here is for 10 times the execution is going to happen, and then the payload is nothing but, which is the input, we are going to be feeding the action and the greet. That's all. Just one line of code, just one line of action, that's all. There is nothing heavy here, and this is a parallel invocation, which is nothing but simultaneously all 7 configurations will be tested, and for 10 times based on cost, which is a strategy. That's what this code is about. Now we have to start the execution right away. I won't be showing you a full step because it's going to be taking you a lot of time. Voila, we have executed each and every step. So as you can see, we have the power 256 and the cost is very high, and the duration is 13 seconds if I'm not wrong, and this is the execution cost, and then this is a Lambda cost. Now what you are going to be doing here is you're going to be pasting this link in this browser, and then you will be seeing this graph. As you can see, it shows different cost and memory configurations in each and every set. Let me tell you an interesting fact, that this application is created by one author from GitHub, and this application is created by another author from GitHub. From GitHub, what I mean here is they are contributors to GitHub. So that's what I mean. They're not like the creators of GitHub. So that's all. We have completed experiment number 2, and then we will move on to experiment number 3, which is nothing but creating a CloudWatch alarm to indicate whether we are spending a lot of money on it. But interestingly, it's going to be created from our Lambda function we have created. Now let's move on to here. Yeah, EU North 1, which is the closest server to India, and yeah, this is what you're going to be seeing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to create alarms. We have no alarms. Hopefully, let's create an alarm. So these are the steps: specify metric and conditions, configure the actions, and name and description, which is SNS topic, and then let's preview, which is nothing but sending a message to subscribe. That's all. Let's gonna select the metric. So let's see how much. Okay, I have some minutes. Let's explain you what it is. So what you're going to be seeing here is cost model. Let's go to the function right away. But we are going to be choosing this. Here we are going to be choosing this. Here, exactly. After you choose this, you're going to be choosing exactly this step. We will be having like 7 steps, but you don't choose any of that, just choose this only. And then let's select the metric. This is how you're going to be getting the UI. After we selected the metric, this is going to be the outputs look like. Our statistics will be in sums. not an average. And the period, let's keep it slow. 1 minute is more than enough, because we have to notify them very fast whether there is a cost that was spiked up, so that the user will be alert and won't be overspending on the service. It must be 1. Okay, this also must be 1. The static value should be greater than 1, then we will be having a problem. So it will be safeguarding the user's finances. And then we will go into configure the actions. Here in alarm, we are going to create a new topic. Let's create my name with it, Jagannath alarm. Since you know my name is Jagannathan, so I just created so that you guys can remember. And this is my email ID. But I'm not showing you just yet. Yeah, let's create a topic. No, that's all. Now let's look at our email. What we got? Yeah, this is what I'm talking. Just confirm the subscription, and that's all. Your subscription is confirmed, and the state of the alarm is gonna be in insufficient data, which means the alarm is starting out and there is no data in. We haven't done anything yet, so that's what it means. That's all. There is no need to do any of this. Very simple. Let's go to next. Well, let's keep an alarm name cost watcher for more fancy one. That's all. There is nothing to do, and that's it. I think we have completed everything. That's all right. That's what we are going to be doing. 1 minute configure actions. That's all. Let's create an alarm right away. So yeah, this is how it's going to be looking like. Actions enabled. Yes, there is actually one data point which has been enabled, but for it won't be showing like this, so you don't need to worry. And that's all. The alarm is created, and that's how we completed experiment number 3. Now let's move on to experiment number 4. Now let me cancel this. Now we are moving on to experiment number 4, which is very simple. We are going to be creating a zero budget, which will be done using billing and cost management. Yeah, in billing and cost management, we are going to be using this. Okay, there's a lot of them. You don't need to worry any of this. Scroll this area and go to budgets. Let's create a budget. Yes, same template, and yes, it's gonna be zero spin budget. If it crosses 0.01, which will be 2 rupees, then it's gonna alert us that we are spending more than that, and we are gonna stop using that service right away without overspending or without crushing our finances. Now, yes, let's enter my email ID. Yeah, that's all. Now let's create a. That's all, and that's it. This is how it's going to be displaying, and that's how we complete experiment number 4. That's all. Now let's move on to experiment number 5, which is very tricky. Now let me close each and every tab. So this is the question for experiment number 5, which is nothing but we are going to be estimating what is the cost for a Wikipedia-like website which has runtime memory of 128 MB, runtime of 50 milliseconds for each request, and number of requests will be 78,840,000,000. That's all. And then the service will be written in Node.js. Most of the time, we will be using only these 3 values: runtime memory, runtime of each request, and number of requests. 78 million, billion, 840 million. Yeah, it's a lot of requests and it's going to be a lot of money. But in Microsoft, we don't have that much of facility to hold this much number. So I'll be showing a kind of static one. So don't worry, it will be very easy. Let me take you there. For this fifth experiment, we will be doing AWS pricing calculator. Yes, we'll be going right away there. Don't log into any accounts here. Just move on to this create an estimate and then search by all services. Choose Lambda because that's how similar we are going to be creating how it should be. And then these are service settings. Yes, number of requests, you don't believe it, 840,000,000,000. Yeah, I'm right. And then the duration will be 50 milliseconds, and the amount of memory is going to be allocated is 128. Ephemeral, it's default, you don't need to worry. And I think that's all. Let's show the calculations. You don't need to go beyond all of this, just this. After you entered all this, this is how you're gonna be seeing the calculations. As you can see, it's a lot of money, and it's gonna be 23,000 for this one. A lot of money for this Lambda cost, right? Now this is for AWS service provider who has to manage a website like Wikipedia. Now let's move on to Microsoft Azure. This seems to end. Let's go to Azure. It won't be taking a lot of time. Let's go to the pricing calculator. Okay, I'll end this stream here. So the page is going to be seeing like this in an online survey. Just skip all of this. We don't want to see all of this. Go to functions. Yeah, here. This is what we are going to be doing. And yes, region will be West US and all of that. Well, let's look at like our India, or let's make this default. Let's see. So it will be like 50. Executions will be, well, I wanna not be getting here just yet. Let's enter that big number, 840. Yeah, as you can see, it's a lot of money. I just didn't change any regions yet, and as you can see, it's a lot of money. $23,000. Come on, that's a lot of money. Well, of course, we saw a similar estimate to that of Amazon, but before you subscribe to any of the services, kindly estimate how much requests you're going to make, how much execution you're going to make, and the default memory size will be 128. It depends on company to company. Kindly estimate and then plan your applications to the cloud accordingly. If you guys want to be shifting from normal applications in your office to cloud, it's very sophisticated, but kindly look at the cost. They are very high. And then lastly, we are moving to Google calculator. No, not exactly this. What I mean here is GCP. Come on. Okay, this is what I mean. Google Cloud Pricing Calculator. Let's add an estimate. I already have an account, so don't mind it. What we are going to be exploring here is functions. Exactly this one. Previously, we will be having cloud functions, which is cheap, but since that is removed and our focus is on serverless, let's choose this one. Yeah, we don't need to change anything here. Let's see how it's done. requests per month, that's in billions. Yeah, I know it's a lot of money. I know, right? Requests per month. Okay, in millions. Okay. So you don't need to be entering any of this. Just enter this, that's all. You want to see how much the cost is? $49. 2 times the money as of this Amazon and this Azure. That's a lot of money, really, lot of money. And that's how you finish experiment number 5 about how you're gonna manage a Wikipedia like website in a cloud. And I conclude my session. Thank you for listening. If you have any doubts, queries, ask me in the comments. But before you move on, let's check each and everything. So this is how it's going to be looking like. Okay, you don't need to go each and everywhere. Okay, there is one small change. This would be Lambda with a free tier. Okay, so the number of requests would be same, more 0, that's all, per month. Duration of each request will be 50 and it's going to be 128, that's all. And let's show the calculations. Yeah, okay, kindly do the Lambda function with a free tier calculation so that you will get what's the real cost. And for pricing calculator, as I told you earlier, it will be in statics. So let me show you this once again so you won't be confusing. Yes, this is the cost. Okay, don't forget. This is the cost you will be seeing, and then this is 2 times the cost. This is what you're going to be seeing in a default. If you want to change regions closer to your region, you can do that. And that's all for experiment number 5. We completed all experiments related to cloud services management, and I conclude and I end this video. Thank you everyone.